Hi Angels, I'm Francisco Angel, but you can call me Franny, and welcome back to Crazy Angel Films. So today I have a really fun video planned, and I'm not gonna lie, when I thought about this concept, I thought I was gonna struggle to make a list, and I didn't realize that it was gonna be a struggle for me to pick 10. So today's video, I'm going to be ranking my top 10 siblings in horror movies. So here are the parameters of this video. Basically, I didn't include any siblings who either one or all of them are an antagonist or villain. Basically, this is a list of just victims slash survivors, and I think that just made it easier for me. So that's what I'm going with. If you would like me to make a list of my top 10 villain siblings in horror films, let me know. In 10th place, we have Nick and Carly from House of Wax. Now, okay, this one's interesting. The reason why they're so low is because I don't know if I'm the only one. I know, I think, shout out to Haunted Hippie, Kylie. I think, we've shared the sentiment that the vibes between Nick and Carly sometimes seem like there's a lot of sexual tension and it's kind of weird. Putting that aside, I like it's on the nose, but I like the whole themes of like them versus Bo and Vincent, the evil twins, and the notion that there is a good twin and a bad twin. And I like that Nick starts off as like this asshole. Yeah, he's a jerk. He's giving unwiped booty hole. We have little character moments where we find out that, he's not just the archetype of the asshole. For his friend Dalton, he took the blame for a car wreck that he did. So he went to juvie. So like that's where like this bad reputation comes from. But also when Dalton essentially gets killed in the movie and he's trying to help his friend who's been like waxed, when the head accidentally breaks off, you have this moment of just like real like raw emotion. And the reason why they made it onto this list, both Nick and Carly, is because they have fight in them, which is something I always appreciate. They have their final girl and final boy moments. I like when Carly is escaping from Bo. I like that she's calling her friends, she's letting them know of the danger, and I like that she manages to put the car in reverse and drive so she can escape from Bo. I like when Nick finds out that Carly is being held hostage by Bo, that he steps up and he whoops some ass. So that's one of the primary reasons why they are on this list, is because they both kick ass. But yeah, basically that's it. They kick ass. And sexual attention is kind of weird, but let's move on to my number 9. In number 9, we have Brenda and Shorty from the Scary Movie franchise. Okay. So Brenda, I love Brenda. Brenda is my girl in the scary movies. Brenda and Shorty both stick out as some of the funniest characters in the scary movie franchise. So that's primarily why I picked them. That, and they always end up surviving any crazy shit that's thrown at them. Shorty gets shot in the first scary movie. He gets turned into a joint in the second one, and then his head's cut open. Brenda gets killed by Samara, or like the ring, but she comes back. She gets stabbed to death in the first one, comes back. So they're both funny, but also apparently immortal. So I hope Shorty and Brenda come back for Scary Movie 6. They are so hilarious. That's that's basically why I put them in like entertainment value. They're both very funny characters to me, and I appreciate them. So on to my number 8. So my number 8 is a late addition. I had made my top 10, but then I watched Sinners and I had to do some rearranging. So in my number 8, I have Smoke and Stack from Sinners. Michael B. Jordan does an amazing job playing both Smoke and Stack and playing them in such different ways. I like that even though they're twins, Smoke is technically the oldest sibling, and how he looks out for Stack. We get glimpses through dialogue of their past with their dad, who was very abusive, how he would beat Stack. We have Smoke asking Preacher Boy, is your dad beating you? Because we find out that Smoke killed their dad, to defend Stack. Smoke takes on the role of the protector and is more serious. Stack, on the other hand, Stack is more of a wild card, but he's more trusting, which is an interesting dynamic considering that he was the one who was like constantly abused by their dad. Because while Smoke talks about his dad in like a very despicable way, Stack talks about him in a more forgiving or a less critical way, let's say. Their dynamic is so interesting with each other. The reason why they're number 8 is because Stack, ends up getting turned into a vampire. That's kind of the reason, is because he ends up dying. I like the fact that Smoke let Stack live at the end, as long as he left Preacher Boy alone to live out his life. Again, playing that protector role even until the very end. Those two brothers were a nice addition to this list, and I can't wait to rewatch Sinners because I feel like I'm gonna get more from them and more from the movie in general. But yeah, that's my number 8. All right, my number 7, OJ and Emerald from Nope. Okay, so OJ and Emerald are played by Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, and I mean, hello. Keke Palmer is always entertaining when she's on screen, and I love her so much. So I like the energy that she brings to Emerald. She is one of the parts of that movie that makes me laugh so hard. OJ, I like that OJ is like the opposite of Emerald. Emerald is like very outgoing and loves talking with people. She's like the one who always speaks, when they're doing their horse business in Hollywood. I like that OJ is like the opposite of that, and he's more reserved. But in his strength with that is that he is able to observe, and he is able to figure out that the alien or blue gene is this creature, not a spaceship, and how it operates, and leading them to be able to make up this plan. So I think together they work very well as a team. And yeah, basically, like I just really like them. I enjoyed them as siblings. I was so happy when it was revealed that OJ did in fact survive. Like I said, I really like their dynamic as siblings. And yeah, that is my number 7. For my number 6, we have Sam and Tira Carpenter. So the Carpenter sisters, when they first appeared in Scream 5, I thought their moments were some of the more sweeter ones. Though Dewey and Gail being the most emotional, I think they came second. My issue with them in 5 is that they were just reduced to just constantly running away from Ghostface, and they didn't have much personality. But in Scream 6, they really came into their own. They had more to play with, and they had more emotional moments. I really enjoyed them as sisters. I think Tara is very, from Scream 5 finding out everything, is very understanding of Samantha, even though she is mad that she abandoned her. She doesn't judge her for being the daughter of Billy Loomis. And in the 6th one, they have like this whole tension where Samantha's been gone for 5 years, and now she's back, and she wants to take care of Tara, and she needs to learn that Tara can handle herself, that she can help, but she can't protect Tara like fully. She has to like let go of the reins with Tara. They have really nice character moments in the 6th one. Okay, can we talk about Samantha is a Loomis, so when she goes crazy, I get it. But Tara was a little too happy when she killed Ethan, okay? But also when, Samantha's like, I'm better than that. She's like, I'm not gonna kill Detective Bailey. And Tara's like, oh, well, Tara, you got darkness too. Is it your mama? Is your mama the issue? It's not even Billy. It's just your mama. Like, is that in your genes? I don't know. I think that's interesting. Too bad we will not be exploring that anytime soon. But yes, that is my number 6, the Carpenter sisters. At my number 5, I have Sienna and Jonathan from the Terrifier franchise. Okay, when they first appeared in the 2nd one, Jonathan was the weird little kid that liked serial killers, and Sienna was like this cool, artsy girl. Sienna's been one of the best final girls we've gotten in recent years. And I really appreciate her from that. And what really sells me on their relationship as siblings is in the final act of Terrifier 2, when she is literally throwing herself over Jonathan so she can get whipped and she can get maimed instead of him. That like that hurt my heart, like in a wholesome way, but also like, damn, like that's so painful. So I have like a deep appreciation of her as like the older sibling wanting to protect her younger brother. The reason why they're not higher is because the 3rd movie, it's sad that they were estranged, essentially, that they don't have that same connection. That Jonathan, because of the trauma of the 2nd one, like decides to just ignore everything, even though he was the one who believed in art in the first place in the 2nd one, and he had written those letters. He just kind of leaves her alone. He abandons her, and then he gets killed off screen. I mean, the jury's still out whether he's actually dead, but I'm gonna say that I believe he died. I think the reason why we didn't see it is for that shocking moment. But I mean, who knows, maybe he's still alive. But yeah, the reason why they're not higher is because of that 3rd movie and like where their relationship left off. But yeah, That is my number 5. At number 4, we have Rain and Andy from Alien Romulus. Okay, technically some of you might think this is cheating because Andy is a synthezoid, but Andy was rescued from the dump by Andy's dad and, built to protect her, and she grew up with him. Their relationship is very much giving siblings. The shy sibling that doesn't stand up for himself, and she's like the protective sibling who stands up for him. To me, it's giving sibling vibes, and that's why they are added in this film. The portrayal of Andy was so amazing, and I never thought I'd care about the synthezoid that much. I mean, I like Bishop in Aliens, but Andy, when he basically turned into a shell for the Wayland Corporation, that was really sad because I was like, damn it. I mean, he had badass moments, but then Rain deciding to come back for him. It's just very much siblings. Like, she couldn't leave her brother behind. And to me, they're siblings. That's why they're on the list. And they have really badass moments, saving each other. So, yep. At number 3, we had Chad and Mindy Meeks Martin from the Scream franchise. Okay, so from the new cast, I really love Chad and Mindy. In the 5th one, again, kind of the same issues with the Carpenter sisters. They didn't have much to do, like character-wise, but even that said, Mindy did shine as my favorite from the new cast. She had a lot of personality, she had a lot of spunk, she was very sarcastic. Like, I really enjoyed her. You can tell she is the niece of Randy Meeks. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. In the 6th one, Chad really steps up. Chad is such a likable, adorable character, and he is just so wholesome. In a lot of ways, they set him up to be like the new Dewey, and he's just very wholesome. He's very sweet. How Chad is still alive, I don't know. I am excited to see both of them in Scream 7 and to see what role they play in the movie. Yeah, they're just really cool. And Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding are basically siblings in real life. The way they interact in interviews, they're just so great together. They have so much chemistry on and off screen. I love them. I love the Meeks twins. So yeah, that's my number 3. At number 2, we have Luke and Kenzie from The Strangers Pray at Night. Listen, it is the best Stranger movie. No arguments. Best Strangers movie, and I don't want to hear it. I just love them as characters. The Strangers really made me feel for the family, and in turn made me feel horrible when the parents died. But Luke and Kenzie as siblings, like, I am so happy they made it out alive. The movie did make me care for them. Luke has one of the best scenes I've seen in a slasher with the pool scene. I just love that sequence so much. The Strangers movies, people make dumb decisions, but even though Luke and Kenzie and their parents make dumb decisions, I understand why they make decisions, but at the same time, they step their pussy up. Luke ends up killing Pinup Girl. He fights Sackhead for quite a while, and like that whole, again, the whole pool sequence, the lighting, the soundtrack, the way it's shot, the way you're going in and out of the pool and the sound is affected by that. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Love it. Cinema. And Kenzie taking out Dollface and Sackhead, super satisfying because the Strangers are fucking assholes. So her being able to take them out, so gratifying. And again, like, I love that moment where Sackhead is stuck to the cop's truck and like gas is leaking, and she takes out the lighter and she like looks at him and gives like a smile before throwing it. Oh, I love that moment. I love that moment so much. And yeah, that's I love them. I love that they survived. They are final girl and final boy, and I love it so much. I love them. But that is my number 2. So at my number 1, I have Naru and Tabe from Prey. I love Prey. Prey was so fucking badass. Naru and Tabe, I love them as siblings. First of all, I love that Tabe is a girl's girl. In the film, Naru has to deal with like the sexism of her tribe, being like, oh, because you're a woman, you can't do this. Like, go back to the field, work on herbs. And even though she is very skilled in, herbs and ends up saving lives because of that, her brother lets her try to prove herself and believes that she's skilled enough to prove herself. He never like belittles her and belittles her skills. And during their final scene together, he reinforces and validates her skills and that she can take this down, that this could be her trophy, her prize to take home. So I really appreciate that. That was a breath of fresh air. He was so supportive and encouraging. But at the same time, like, I love their banters as siblings. I love their little banter where they're like trying to shoot that eagle. And Naru, she is such a badass. I like that she she understands that the predator is bigger, that it's stronger, but she is the only one that doesn't attack first, and she's observing and constantly like trying to figure out how it works and what are its weaknesses. And then at the very end of the film, the culmination of it, she ends up using that to take it down. And I felt like really sad when Tabe died. Like, he ends up sacrificing himself in order for her to get away. He is about to die. He is still encouraging her, and he knows that she can bring it home, bring that trophy, get that kill. I love them as siblings. They're both badass siblings. Obviously, Naru has that badass sequence versus the predator at the very end of the film, but Tabe also has like that super badass sequence with the predator where, like, if the predator didn't pussy out and turn invisible, like, he would have got that. He stood on business, okay? He would have beat that predator's ass, but he got scared and he turned invisible. That's some pussy shit. But yeah, that will do it. That is my list of my top 10 siblings in horror films. Are there any siblings that I didn't think of that you really love? I really want to hear from you guys. So comment down below, what are some of your favorite siblings? That will do it for today. So stay tuned and stay spooky.